item 7C, presentation by Development Services Director Michael Skates on observation and objectives of the Development Services Department. Michael.
Yes, Mayor and Council. Michael Skates, Development Services Director. I'm just going to take a few minutes, probably since the agenda's kind of short. I don't really know how long it's going to take me, but I kind of timed it.
Go as long as you did last time?
Probably not. I'm going to try not to. But I'm just going to kind of give an overview of my department and kind of what we do and things that take place in our department. We are a character count city, and we do focus on these 6 pillars each and every day as we do business. We have, in front of you is our organizational chart, and we currently have 31 employees. And I'm going to talk about this in a couple places, but throughout this past year, working with the city management, we've taken our plan development section and we kind of stretched it out, and we've kind of moved things around a little bit and created a new section or a new division called Special Projects. And we shifted Farhad Daroga over into that manager's position in order to focus on several key special projects that we have, primarily the comprehensive plan, our downtown overlay, and numerous other special projects that he's working on currently. And with that, we've hired a new manager in the plan development section, and he's here tonight, and I think Mr. Spurge is going to introduce him here in a little while. But we've also, as you see there on the screen, we have a planner 2 that says future. And working with Kenny Swab, our assistant city manager, we've been able to reconfigure some of the money within the department, and are actually going to move forward with hiring another project engineer so that we can be a little bit more self-independent upon how we do our reviews, hopefully speed up our time a little bit, and also moving forward with the Planner 2 position to fulfill our need within the plan and the development community, which I'll talk about more. Forget to turn the slide. Development services, we're a department that has a sole purpose to provide a cradle-to-grave support for processes involving residential and commercial development within the city. As I said earlier, we have 4 divisions. We have a one-stop division, a building inspection division, a plan development division, and then a special projects division. As Sierra just finished talking about, she helped me with OpenGov, and I pulled this from OpenGov just to kind of give a quick representation of the department as far as how our personnel costs are broken down. And we have a total of approximately $2.4 million just in personnel cost, and then on top of that, we probably have a couple $100,000 in non-personnel cost. But I thought it kind of went hand in hand with her giving her presentation. Our environment in our department, our primary goal is to help people, to help the community, help our citizens, and find ways to help. And so that's what we strive to do every day. We look to streamline how we do things, always looking to make things better, more efficient. We want to be the best, but we also want to be efficient and effective in what we're doing. And we have done that, and we continue to look for those improvements that we can make. We also follow a strategic vision that the city management has put forth for us. We train staff. We're constantly training with software and different programs. We multitask, or what I like to say is we like to be redundant. We don't have, as we become more proficient in software, we can't just rely on one person to do something. We have to make sure that we have backup for that person. And so we do that consistently and all the time within our department to make sure that we have backup if somebody's gone, that we can continue to move forward with projects within the department and outside. We try to create a vibrant culture system, and we're continuously modifying and doing different things to make sure that's not stagnant. We try to keep a clean and orderly visual workplace. I hope that many of you all have walked through or been through my department and seen some of the changes we've made over the last year with additional offices and some remodel. And then we try to empower the employees, and by that, we want, as a director, I want the employees to be able to answer citizens' questions. And so that's part, above that, everything goes hand in hand, that I want to make sure that staff can answer people's questions, and it's not just the director that has to answer all the questions and try to assist people. So I think we work well, and we do a good job of doing that. Some advantages of developing in Broken Arrow, you know, I think we still have plenty of plentiful, low-cost, undeveloped land. You know, we have excellent infrastructure with low utility rates. You know, we have viable demographics with this expendable income. We have a supportive municipal government and internal department relationship. You know, I mean, we all work very well together, hand in hand in what we do, and know that you know, as a director, I can reach out to any other director for assistance and making sure projects run smooth and working together with the community. I think we have a strong school system, you know, is one reason why people want to develop here, want to be in our community. We have strong partnerships with the chamber, EDC, and schools. We have a vibrant presence in the downtown area. You know, we've worked hard to revitalize downtown, and we're seeing you know, reaping the rewards from that. And I think I kind of added there at the bottom, you know, some of the things that I think we all know. We're the safest city in Oklahoma, top place to live, great place to raise a family and retire. So, you know, many things are going in our favor that help with the development that we're seeing. This map here, I'm going to talk about two things. I handed out before the meeting a additional map, but before I get to that map, I kind of wanted to just give you a snapshot of the city of Broken Arrow and all of the development projects we have going on. And I don't know that I got them all on there, but I tried to get as many as I could think of and based on our project list. But we have 27 commercial projects under construction in the city of Broken Arrow. We have 24 residential subdivisions under construction within the city, and we have 5 school projects that are either under construction or forthcoming. So we have a lot of activity going on in the city, and I think that, you know, it's pretty apparent when you drive around and see cranes and construction and other activities, as Mr. Thompson talked about earlier with the Hotel Conference Center. Would you pull up that other one for me? And if you look at the map that he's going to pull up here for you. Yeah, right here. I kind of wanted to focus on the map you saw previously is in the southwest part of the city. You know, along the Creek Turnpike, we have the Warren Theater, and we have a lot of commercial land available for development. And what we've seen over the last couple, you know, probably year and a half to 2 years is almost 15 subdivisions under construction and moving through our department. You know, as you see on this map here around the theater within a 2-mile radius, we have over 1,800 homes or lots. And right now we're about 29% built out. So out of that 1,800, we've issued about 523 permits. So, you know, I think over the next year and a half, 2 years, if the economy stays strong, everything stays well out there in the world, that we're going to have a great year or two with residential back on the equivalent of what we saw in 06 and 07. These first 2 months of the year, you know, we're ahead of last year's numbers. January, we were significantly ahead of last year's numbers. So I think it's going to be a great year as far as residential. But I wanted to show that to you. You guys can take that with you and look at it, and I can always answer questions if you have any. But I think it's just a snapshot of what's taking place in our city. But I think also that it's going to help us with commercial development. We've been meeting with various entities interested in commercial development in this area. Most recently, we met with a development group that is looking at some property just west of the CVS there on the corner of Elm and Tucson. And I believe that they are going to move forward with that project. And, you know, we're going to see another grocery store and some other development there. But we're also seeing development along this corridor with the Creek Turnpike. So we're very excited about that. On this slide here, this just kind of gives you kind of a graphical representation of our permits that I just talked about. This kind of gives you a snapshot over 3 years of where we are from residential, commercial, and multifamily communities, not only to see what they're doing, but many communities call us to find out how we're doing things. We have a great perception out there, the word's out there of what we do and how we do it well, and they want to know how we do it and how we do it so well. We utilize various tools. I like to say we have many tools in our toolbox available to help development. And so, we've gotten away from saying no and trying to find, really sitting down and trying to find ways to help citizens and help developers look for opportunities for development. And so we have various tools that we can use, from PUDs to other things that we do. So, finally, we're really focused right now on our special projects, which is the comprehensive plan and zoning maps. We're updating our zoning maps, and we're trying to get that updated so we can get it on our website, and folks can see everything that's taken place over the last 3 or 4 years and have those maps up to date. So it's kind of a continuous cycle. Comprehensive plans usually about 15 to 20 years. We're working on what we're calling, I think, Vision 2040 right now, which is the comprehensive plan. On the heels of that, we have zoning maps, and then we're going to follow that up with the new revised zoning ordinance and subdivision code. So, all in all, I think it's a great day to be in Broken Arrow. I don't know how else to say it. It's a wonderful place. It's a wonderful place to develop, and I think that with y'all's support, city managers' guidance and support, and the assistant city managers and all the directors, you couldn't ask for a better place to be, to work, live, and develop. I'd be glad to answer any questions if you have any.
Any questions of Michael?
Michael, I don't really have a question, just an observation, and that excellent report. You did a great job with that. I think that in seeing the development around the Warren Theater, the residential, still there is a little bit of disappointment that we haven't seen the commercial part develop around there. And again, that's not really a question. Why is that? I know there's various reasons, but being involved with from the Turnpike, from the first inception through the council, then with the Planning Commission on development of it, I sure would have liked to see, I thought it would be quicker that we would see commercial development in that area, especially now that I see your presentation with how much residential there is in that area.
Mm-hmm. And I agree with you. I mean, I think there's reasons why it hasn't happened, but we're doing everything we can, on a monthly basis, daily, weekly, to try to get that to happen. And what we're seeing is stuff happening around that area. And so I know myself and our economic coordinator for the city, we're working diligently to try to
I know you are.
Convince people to get here, to develop and to build, and trying to do everything we can with that developer to really get that land to develop. We're hoping with the apartments that are under construction, and I kind of think those will be ready to probably in June, maybe July. I hope that will help foster some retail and commercial office in that area.
Okay. Great job.
Thank
Great
you.
presentation.
Thank you.
Just one thing, Mayor, members of council. Mike, take just a minute, if you will, and just talk about the importance of having that additional planner in terms of review, and how Mr. Schwab and you have been talking about separating out the city's capital projects and allowing you to focus on the development that's happening and how that's going to augment or benefit those people that want to make the investment.
Okay, sure. As I said before, what we did is we looked at stretching the division out, and we kind of inserted some position to create a succession plan for long-term growth. What we have done is development services, when we get plans in to review for engineering, we not only review those internally, but we also rely on support from engineering services, primarily stormwater division. Also, we rely on utility department for review of water and sewer. Oftentimes, if a development has interior commercial roadways, we may also receive assistance from the engineering director and others within the engineering department to look at the streets and their profiles and their vertical and horizontal curvature and things like that. But with, over the last 3 or 4 months, working with Alex Mills in the engineering department and Kenny Schwab, it's apparent that not only does engineering have over 140 projects, but development services has, 54 projects going on and many more coming through the pipeline. And so we looked at how we could free up all of the support from stormwater so they could focus more heavily on their projects within their department and free up so that my department can be a little bit more independent in the reviews. And with that, and with Kenny's support, and looking at our budget, we've been able to identify and going to be moving forward with hiring a new engineer. We have hired a new project engineer, and so the new engineer that we have doesn't necessarily have to be a PE. It could be an EI, so we're working on that. But anyway, we feel that'll allow development services to be a little bit more self-efficient in review. We'll still have the support from engineering if we need it. We're actually been working and have met with engineering and getting ready to meet with them again about specifics on what they see from engineering for us, so that as my staff do review, that we're making sure that we're identifying and reviewing all of the items that stormwater would have looked at. But we always know that we could always pick up the phone and call them with a question or something. But that's going to allow them to really focus on their projects that they have and not monopolize all of their time. And with that, we're also looking at hiring another planner, which people don't realize that not only reviewing the plans that we have in the office, site plans, plats, PUDs, zoning changes, we meet with people every day. And that takes a lot of time to meet with citizens off the street, with developers, and trying to answer their questions and provide them information. We have a lot of phone calls, and to be honest with you, in the past, it was like putting out fires every single day. You didn't have time to really prepare for stuff. You just kind of went into it with, okay, I hope they ask right questions because I have, I know this stuff pretty well. I can kind of guide them in the direction they need to go. But it takes a toll on the staff, with working overtime, with, rushing through things. We're trying, we're very careful not to make mistakes. But, when you're short-staffed and have a lot of projects going on, there's an apparent purpose for mistakes to happen. And so I've been very fortunate to work with Mr. Spurgeon and receive his support since he's been here to look at development services and help guide and help me get positions that I need in order to support the development growth out in the community. And Mr. Schwab's done nothing but help me as well. So we're looking forward to the next few months to get the 2 positions advertised and get them out on the street. But there's a little legwork I got to do with finance and HR. So HR knew about it because I talked to them today, but I haven't really spoken to finance yet. But I'm working on that. So sorry, Tom, I'll get with you tomorrow. But a few things I got to do. But hopefully, by May, we're going to have 2 new employees. We did some remodeling in our office, so we have the office space for them. And so we're excited. We're excited to be full staffed and be able to provide a better review time and better opportunity for customer service.
Thank you, Michael.
Yeah.
The
Thank
other-
you.
The other thing, Mayor, if I can, I was going to introduce a new employee in the department, and I think it's apropos to do it right now. We have a new planning development manager, and that's Larry Curtis. He's in the audience tonight, so I'd like to introduce Larry. He's joining us. This is his second day, and I truly believe that he's going to do great things, and we want to welcome him on board, Larry. Thank you very much. So, he'll be here quite a bit before the council and also with our planning commission. So he comes with great credentials, and he's got a spirit and an enthusiasm that obviously you need after you just heard all the great things that Michael's talking about happening in the community. So welcome, Larry. Now, let me say, I can't mention Larry without mentioning another person, which Michael, one of the first things he mentioned was, and that is our new special projects manager, which is Farhad Daroga. Now, I would take bets that almost everybody in town knows Farhad. And if you want a definition of a true public servant, someone that has given everything to this city, Farhad Daroga would epitomize that. And I can't begin to thank Farhad for all he's done for this city and his leadership in helping move over in this position, because I'm going to keep him busy if Michael doesn't with a lot of things that are happening. And so I want to give Farhad a round of applause for his efforts and service to the city. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you.
Well, and Johnny, on your question, you were talking about development down south. If you look at this map and you look at how many zeros are on here, as far as there's a lot of lots, but there's a lot of houses that aren't built. And Norm can confirm this. Whenever we talk to national developers, they want rooftops, they want density. And so we're getting to the point where we're coming to a critical mass that we're starting to get some density in that area. I think we're going to start seeing some things in the next few months that we're going to be able to announce that are going to take off in that area. But that's been the holdup. We've had a lot of vacant lots out there, and Norm works really hard when he goes to ICSC and other shows, and they tell him, well, we like what you're doing in the north, but you don't have enough density in the south. So, but we're getting there.
And that was my thought when I saw all the density in that one area there. You know, I'd like for that density to be stopping in Broken Arrow if
Yes.
we can accomplish that. So.
And we're working real hard on that so we can keep that money here.